Good morning. Welcome to Gen Con Online! Also my attic. Same place this year. I'm super excited to be here today streaming. I'm really happy that Gen Con found an online alternative and HABA USA is participating, so yay! If you haven't already, make sure you join the HABA Discord server. You can find a link to that at habausa.com/GenConOnline. If you scroll down, there's like a big Discord image. Make sure when you join the Discord server that you acknowledge the code of conduct on the welcome page. You have to give a thumb up. You have to click the thumbs up on my post, and then you'll be given access to the whole rest of the server, which is fully staffed 24/7 during Gen Con. We have a whole bunch of demos running. We have Tabletopia demos of Miyabi, Hanga, Mountains, Cloaked Cats, and some Karuba running throughout the whole weekend. We also have some play-alongs happening here on Twitch, as well as on various content creator channels. So there we go. My computer's over here, so when I look this way a lot, it's because I'm looking at my computer. Just want to double check it's all working. There we go. So thank you for watching. This morning's stream, or today's stream, depending on your time zone, will be about the new HABA USA game releases and what is coming later this year, this fall. So I apologize if you hear the fan noise. It's the AC. It is 90 degrees in Portland, Oregon. That is not usual, so please pardon the AC noise. All right. If you're watching this in the future, thank you, welcome. And if you're watching this live, hello, and welcome as well. So yeah, let's jump into it. We announced a few Gen Con releases for this show, and all of them are available on our online store right now, and a few of them are available on the Gen Con store if you would like to consolidate your purchases and shipping. If you purchase from the HABA USA store, you would go to habausa.com/shop/gen-con. And you can see all of our Gen Con games. You can obviously buy anything from the website. It doesn't have to be from the Gen Con store. But I have everything grouped nicely for you in the Gen Con store with our new releases, as well as some sale items and some must-go items. If you've ever attended a Gen Con or one of our conventions, we have like a must-go section, and these are games that have been discontinued or they're out of print and we don't have many of them left, and so we sell them at a deep discount just to try and move them on to good homes. We have replicated that this year with the must-go section of the online shop, so give that a check out. The other thing for the online shop is we have a coupon code. If you go to the HABA USA store, pick all the things you want. Don't forget the Gen Con exclusive Unicorn Glitterlock pin. But if you add everything to your cart, then coupon code at checkout is GenCon2020 for an additional 10% off your cart, not including the new releases. Which, let's start getting into those new releases, y'all. So I have this delightful, conveniently placed HABA shelf. So we have a number of new releases. I'm gonna go ahead and start at the toddler level, and then we'll work our way up in age count. So we have 2 new toddler games released. Let me switch the camera. Dun, dun, dun. It's so weird because Gen Con is like so loud and crowded and so many people, and I'm just alone in my attic. It's very different, but the energy is still the same inside my heart. We have these 2 new toddler games, Nibble, Munch, Crunch, and Building Site. These are both for 2 and up, and they work on different skills. Nibble, Munch, Crunch is for 2 and up, obviously, but this one is kind of like my very first card game. And then this one is more of a like traditional cooperative game, but it has this awesome dump truck. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. We're gonna start with Nibble, Munch, Crunch. So, Nibble Munch Crunch is about feeding your pets, and we have a lot of great components in here. So we have these cards. This is our toddler cards. They're actually punch boards. They're nice and sturdy, but we have two decks, and then we have the cardboard punch-out frames for the food. So you would sort the cards by their type, which the backs are good at, and then you would shuffle them. Oh, and you have to get the food out. That's super important. As with most of our toddler games, let me just move these fidgets / baby rattles / grabbers. So as with most of our toddler games, the rule book includes a whole lot of information about how to use this toy to introduce your child to various concepts. So in this game, we're talking about colors, we're talking about animals, we're talking about food, and we also have some memory stuff going on. There's a competitive way to play, a cooperative way to play, and then there's just, free play. Just play with it, So all of that is in the rulebook. All of our rulebooks include 6 languages. So this one, we have English, Chinese, French, Spanish, German, and Korean for the English rulebooks, typically. All of the US games always have English, French, and Spanish at the bare minimum. So we have a section that introduces thank you for buying this product, and if you want to play this with your toddler, this is a great way. And then we don't really jump straight into rules. We talk about different ways to encourage your toddler to use the game elements. And like I said, this is pretty standard in all of our My Very First games, which are toddler games. So here we talk about the free play, and then we have 2 different games that you can play. One is cooperative, one is competitive. One, you kind of have the concept of a deck of cards, and in the other one, you just kind of have a memory element that's happening. So you can see what you would do is in either game or in free play, you're trying to get the animals matched up with their proper food. So you'd have an animal, and then, so the puppy, we're trying to find the puppy's food. So we would normally have a little bit more space. We'd have these red cards kind of randomly put out, and you can do them face up or face down, it's up to you, but it's the puppy. And so I'm like, okay, well, what background am I looking for the puppy? Well, it's the bone, so I want the bone background. So I'd flip over a card. That's not the bone background. So then I would say, oh, that's not it. I'd flip it over, and then it would be the next player's turn, but we still had the puppy out, so the next player would be looking for the puppy's food still. So maybe the next player flips here. It's the bone background. So then we match it up with the bone template, and then we put the dog bone in there, and then the puppy has successfully been fed. So there we go. And then it's the next player's turn to draw a new animal type, and that would of course be the fish. Do we remember where the fish background was? Because the cat wants to eat the fish. Do you remember where it is? I bet you do. It's right here. So we put the fish on, then we put the fish plate on, then we actually put the fish, and then the kitty's been fed, right? And so you do that for every animal. That's just one way to play. So you can talk about shapes, you can talk about food, you can talk about animals, you can talk about colors, taking turns, memory, things like that. Very straightforward, very basic. Here's the bunny. The bunny's my favorite. The bunny has the carrots, right? So we have the carrot background, and you put the carrots on there, and then you put the carrot on, and the bunny's fed. I have to feed all the animals. I can't put this away without feeding them. The mouse wants the cheese. I remember the cheese is here. So we put the cheese here. So yeah, the cooperative way that you play, this is the cooperative way. The competitive way that you play is each animal belongs to a specific player, and that player is trying to find the background and the animal, but they have the dish. So yeah, and you can always, as with all HABA games, you're encouraged to, make up rules and play it the way that makes sense for you and your family. So there you go. We've fed all the animals. I feel accomplished for the day. Not bad for 9 a.m. I'm West Coast, if you didn't know. I also haven't had my coffee yet, so it's sitting right there. At some point, I will have coffee. If you have any questions, let me know in the chat. I'm not monitoring the Discord chat, so if you're doing questions in the Discord, I currently can't see them. But if you are in the Twitch chat, like Jess is right there, I can see them there. So that was that one. Where did I put the other one? building site. Okay, so my very first game's building site is all about building a house. So in this one, Bruno Bear is helping build our aunt's house. There's so much in this one. So again, we have the rule book, all the information. This one, there's an additional section in the rule book where we have a story that teaches the kids about, obviously they wouldn't read this, you would read this, but it teaches them about all the different sections of building a house. So when they complete the foundation part for the house in the game, you can like read the foundation part of the story. But the game comes with one of our Coolaroo dump trucks with actual working things. I love our Coolaroo system. If you aren't aware of it, it's a ball, track, and car system. It's wooden tracks, and there's just so many options in it. If my nieces had been younger when I first started working for HABA, they would have gotten so much Coolaroo. They still have gotten Coolaroo. The Coolaroo cars, there's ones that like you push and they self-drive. Those are awesome, and I gave my whole family those for Christmas this year, and they were zooming everywhere. But, so in this game, we have the construction site here in the center. We have the different construction like prep zones, right? So this is where the roof is, foundation, house, or walls, I should say. And this is where we're gonna build the house. And then we have, can I get this all on camera? That's what I really should have tested, is can I fit all the games on camera? Okay, so then we have this area here. This is Bruno Bear. Bruno Bear is tracking the job progress, and we put him on the first square, and we're working on the foundation. That's the first thing we're doing. So we have these tiles, and we're gonna spread them out. I'm not gonna go too crazy. I guess I kind of have to. You can kind of group them together in a grid. You can put them kind of everywhere. It's up to you how you want to play. But on your turn, this is a cooperative game. We're trying to build the house. On your turn, you drive the truck to a token. You check it. Oh, well, that was lucky. If it is one of the tokens that you need for this phase of construction, you load it into the dump truck. You pull the dump truck around to the construction zone. Beep, 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 beep. You drop it in place, and then it's the next player's turn. Next player is gonna drive. We're trying to find the cement truck now. We have the driver. I'm just gonna cheat and look for the truck. Oh my goodness. So there's actually like birds, and the birds aren't needed. They just kind of mess up the stuff. So this is a memory game where you have to remember, oh, this is a bird, I'm not gonna look there again, right? So really I would be flipping this over and like remembering, oh, this is the character that makes the wall. I need to remember that's there, because I'll need that next. Excuse me. This is the landscaper, so I need to remember that's where the landscaper is. Oh my goodness. Where is it? This is what I get for trying to cheat. There it is! Okay, I found the cement truck. So we would drive the dump truck all the way up to the cement truck. We'd put it into the bed. Beep, 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 beep. We'd back it up, drop it in the place. Bruno's like, sweet, the foundation's ready. Drive over, get the foundation, back it up onto the building site. That was not a great placement. I would not hire this crew to build my house, but you know, it's their first time. So the foundation is now built. Bruno Bear would go on to the next area. So now we would be looking for the walls. Eventually what's going to happen is we will have a house that is built. And once the house is fully built, we actually flip it over, because now the landscaping's done and we have this super cute house. And if you were curious, this is what the house looks like. So yeah, so this is my very first game's building site. It works on fine motor skills, memory, taking turns, the concept of playing like a more involved game. These games, these square box toddler games, are really good for teaching your little ones kind of like how to have the patience and time for a more involved game than the smaller rectangle boxes. So that's why I recommend, if you have a kiddo that you think is like ready to like sit down and play a game for 20 minutes or 15 minutes and like wants to play a game, like maybe they've been trying to play your games with you, this is a great option. It's also got high free play value, so they'll just want to drive the truck and play with the truck by themselves constantly. So this one is fantastic. Both this and Nibble Munch Crunch are new as of this month, as of Gen Con. And both of them are available on hobbyusa.com, shipping now. Nibble Munch Crunch is $14.99. My Very First Games building site is $29.99. And this one also will integrate with that Cooler Boo track system I was talking about. So if you already have Cooler Boo, or you're thinking about getting into a ball and track system, Cooler Boo is worth looking into, and this game will you can put the building sites further away and then like run the truck on the tracks to the building sites, which would be really cool. So there you go. Those are our new toddler releases, our new My Very First Games for your younger gamers. Let's move on. The next ones are going to go a little faster. The toddler games I really like to kind of show and pull out because not a lot of people realize your toddlers can do, young ones as young as like 18 months, can really do a lot of these like memory skills, cognitive skills, and it's really great to be working on those. So, yeah. Thank you. I hope you appreciate my dump truck sound effects. I worked hard on those. They don't come with the game, sadly. But, yeah, so next up we have two new games for 4 and up. We have Color It and Barnyard Bunch. So Color It I'm gonna do in a second. Barnyard Bunch is a cooperative game for ages 4 and up, 2 to 4 players, though you could play solo. It's $14.99 and it is available now. It's designed by Justin Lee, who is a US-based designer. He's very excited. Justin was going to be at our booth demoing the game and doing like signed things with the game. He was so excited, and then Gen Con got canceled, and he was so upset about it that he booked a camping trip for this weekend. And then when Gen Con Online was announced, and I was like, oh, we're gonna still launch it and do it online, he was like, I'll dial in from the woods. And I was like, okay, don't worry about that. We can do something later. But Justin is very excited, and he would be here digitally in spirit. He might actually be here digitally in spirit. I'm not sure if you are. Hello, Justin. But he was really excited, and I'm excited that his game is now available because I really like this one. So in this one, the farmer, he really should just install fences, but the farmer has maybe left the gate open and all the farm animals are escaping from the barn, and we are trying to help him make it through his day and just keep all the animals on the farm. So this doesn't show all of the spokes like to the end, right? But I just can't fit them all on camera. So you start with all 8 animals in the center. You have the die, you have the deck of cards. This is cooperative, so everybody is going to play. Oh, did it not launch on YouTube? Oh no. Oh. We were supposed to be live on YouTube too. I guess it just didn't work. I'll have to look into that. But so we're working together, we're cooperative, we're just kind of like trying to outlast the day. So I like to say this is reverse tower defense. So on your turn, you're going to roll the die. Boop. It's yellow. Any animal standing on a yellow space is going to make a break for it. So the cat, meow, and the pig, oink, oink. That was a weird pig noise. Let's go. I like that better. They make a break for it. Then at the end of my turn, I draw the top card. Oh, it's the horse. Oh, the horse got distracted by a dragonfly and makes a run for it. Nay! And that would be my turn. So then the next player would go, they would roll the die. Let's advance time a little quickly here. Let's say, well, so the blue's activated, right? So the duck would go, and then the kitty, oh, sorry, quack, quack. Steve does a much better duck. I can't really do a duck. Quack, quack, quack. I don't know. Meow. And then we would draw a card. Oh, the mouse is making a break for it. Mouses are really quiet. Maybe like just like squeak, squeak. So yeah, but if I rolled the farmer or the farmer card came up, I would get to pick on my turn one animal to send one space back. right? And so I would look and I would say, okay, well, which one's gonna get away sooner? Which one has like made it further down the map? And it's of course the cat. I'm realizing you can't see how awesome these meeples are because the top down. So let me just lay them all down. The cat has made it a little further. So I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna push the cat back. So I move the cat back 1 space. Meow. There's also farmer cards. So even though I did a farmer action, I still draw a card, and it's the frog. I'm tempting the frog back with a fly. So I would move the frog back a space, but the frog hasn't gone anywhere. Eventually you're gonna end up in a situation where you have, you know, kind of everyone everywhere, right? And if you roll the dog, who is the best dog, I mean, look at this dog on this dice. Can you see that? How adorable that is? If you roll the dog or you get a dog card, you get to pick one animal and you put them all the way back to the barn. So in this situation, you would have the conversation like, okay, well, who do you think we should move back? Who do you think is the closest to getting away? Oh, it's the cow. Let's move the cow all the way back. Moo. Sound effects are important. So you can have that kind of conversations. The deck is the game end trigger. So when the deck is gone, the game is over. So if you make it through the deck, you win. If an animal manages to get off, that one's off camera. If an animal manages to get off of their board, they've run away and everyone loses. So this is a good cooperative game for those that are looking for something that's a little bit more involved than our My Very First games, but is still not quite to the super involved level of like Luxantis or Karuba Jr. or Forbidden Island, that kind of thing. So this is a great cooperative game. If you're trying to find a cooperative game for your 4 and up in this kind of like skill range that's just like between those two levels. And this is, again, Barnyard Bunch, designed by Justin Lee, available now from our website, GenCon, hobbyusa.com/GenCon online, and it's $14.99. So there we go. And I have to speed it up. I can't show every game because there's too many. Color It is a game that is coming soon. It's not available yet, sadly. We didn't make it in time for Gen Con. It will be available later this month, though. This is $14.99, and it's a roll and write for 4 and up. There are 2 ways to play, and there's 2 rules sets that you can play with, kind of advanced colorer and basic colorer. There are 4 coloring pads included, 20 sheets each pad, colored pencils with 2 of each color, so you have to share, but it's not too bad. And then the wooden dice. And yeah, it's a great one for working on fine motor skills, for taking turns, for like just a basic roll and write. It's very relaxing to color, and I really enjoy this one. We actually have a play along of Color It happening every day of the show at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific at Girls Game Shelf, and we'll also be hosting it here on this Twitch. So if you're interested in playing along with Color It, you can do that. Make sure you follow this channel to make sure you see when we host. And if you haven't joined our HABA Discord yet, go ahead and do that, because we will be making announcements when we are live on Twitch or when these events are happening. So you can do that, hobbyusa.com/GenConOnline. All of the links are there. But that is Color It, $14.99. I am so excited, but so bummed this didn't make it for Gen Con. It is really great to play. You can play it over Zoom. Play-alongs work really well. Distance playing works really well with this one. And it's also just really nice for fine motor skills. So if you have a kiddo that likes to color but doesn't super like games, this is a good one for that. Or if you have a kiddo that really likes games but doesn't like to color and needs to work on those fine motor skills and like holding pencils, that kind of thing, this is also a great game for them. So there you go. That's Color It. All right. Next up, In a Flash, Firefighters. So this is another $14.99 game. This one is for 5 and up. This is a competitive real-time tile placement game. Each player is going to have a track. Right? Oh, come on, camera. Camera, do it! I have to turn off autofocus if this keeps doing this. Come on. Camera, don't you know I'm on a time crunch? Okay, I have to manually focus the camera. Wow, it just is determined not to focus. I just have to manually go in here and fix this. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so each player has a track. They also have a fire hydrant, and fire hydrant goes in the fire hydrant starting space. There are a bunch of these like hose starting tiles. You put one onto the thing, then so each player is going to have a setup that's like this, right? And then there's all of these tiles. There's more. I'm just not going to pull them all out of the box. But then you say, okay, ready, steady, go. And each player will use one hand and try and connect, unkink or untangle their fire hose and get it run all the way to the fire. Oh, I gotta get off this top line. The problem with this game is every time I demo it, I actually start playing it, which is a real problem when you're supposed to be like doing something else. So once one player gets it all the way, oh, that's not gonna help me. I don't have all the tiles out. That's my excuse. Okay, I'm gonna do that one. Once this game is great for spatial reasoning. The white dash on the road and the grass really helps. That one like sort of aligns. Nope, totally doesn't. All right, does that work? Not really. This one, the spatial reasoning puzzle with the dashes on the road is just a really nice indicator and a great way to talk to kiddos about like lining it up, spatial reasoning, working on those puzzle skills. It's also really a great first, real-time game. It's also a really great way to distract me from doing anything. I did it! Okay, so because I did it, I grabbed the water nozzle tile. The first player to grab the water tile nozzle ends the round. Everyone will help verify that their hose was successfully unkinked. If they successfully did the right thing, they win a medallion. Then all of the tiles are returned to the center. I like to cheat and do that. You mix them up. And then the player who was the best, oh, we also swap these. So everybody rotates the fire hose starting tile. So everybody will have a different one. But the player who won that round will actually move their fire hydrant back a space. So they have to find one more tile that round. The player who untangled their hose the least that round will move their fire hydrant up a space. So they actually have to find one less tile. So there's this really nice built-in handicap mechanic. This one, it's just a great fun filler game for kind of all ages. If you have, just adults that are looking for some fun, silly HABA, this is a great tile placement racing, real-time game for that. It's also really great with kids, like I said, because of that spatial reasoning, deduction, and with the built-in handicap, if you have one kiddo that's a little younger, maybe they're like 4, and you have, they're playing against older kiddos, you can start them closer on the fire hydrant. Or if you're playing with Steve, my partner, you can just have his fire hydrant set all the way to the end, so he has to do way more tiles than you, and then you might have a chance. I'm not bitter about that at all. So that is In a Flash Firefighters, designed by Rudy Biber. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name wrong. It's available now from HABAUSA.com, and it is $14.99. That's In a Flash Firefighters. I'm apparently singing the things now. Cool. All right. Another new release. Fiver Findin'. So this is another roll and write. So we actually released 2 roll and writes, or announced them. Technically, Color It hasn't released yet. But Fiver Findin' is available now from HABAUSA.com. $19.99 is the price. It's also available on the Gen Con store. But this is a roll and write for 7 and up. 1 to 4 players. and it comes with a lot. So there's a timer. It's a 30-second timer, if you're curious. Then there are dry erase boards. This one is the like scoreboard. So there's two sides. The base game you play with this side. Then it comes with 4 dry erase markers that have the erasers on them. It comes with, normally there's a punch board. I punched the punch board, obviously, with all of these polyominoes that you spread out. And then you have the player boards. Oops, I missed one. There you go. So then you have the player boards. There is 4 player boards for 4 players. We do have the file available online. We are doing play-alongs of this game, Fiver Findin', every day. Pretty sure. Did we do one today? I don't think there's one today, but there's one Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for Fiver Findin'. So if you want to play along, we have Marty from Roll Dice and Take Names is doing a Fiver Findin' play along tomorrow evening, and then I am hosting one on the One Tar, my old YouTube Twitch channel, on Saturday, and then Sunday Ross from More Games Please is doing one Sunday afternoon. So if you want to play, the file for that is at hobbyusa.com/GenConOnline. But the game, each player has a board. The gray outlined board, they're all the same. The white side, they're all unique. The board that you will download is one of the white ones, so there's that. But we're gonna say I play with this one, and you all are going to help. So what's gonna happen is, for the main game, we'll play the main way, is one player is gonna roll dice, and then everyone, I don't like that roll, I'm gonna cheat a little. Everyone is going to use this dice roll all at once. So everybody is playing simultaneously. So now I am trying to find, everyone is trying to find, fivers or shapes, these shapes that use each of the 5 dice. So you have to use all 5 dice, and you have to find, you're trying to find 5 shapes that use all 5 dice, and those shapes need to be unique and not overlapping. And you're just racing each other. As soon as one player gets all 5 shapes, like here's one, they flip the 30-second timer, and everybody has until that timer runs out. If one player kind of just like gives up and wants to force everybody else to stop, they can also flip the timer. These shapes out here will just kind of like help you. These are all the possible permutations of Tetris shapes, but as long as they're adjacent, ooh, a staircase one. As long as the squares are orthogonally adjacent, it's a legal move. If you're trying to play along, one of the things that I find when there's a pair, I use the pairs kind of as like an anchor to find, ooh, I think I already did that shape. Yeah, I already did that shape. I use the pairs as an anchor. I was worried about running out of time, and now I'm realizing I'm good. Ooh, a T. I'm good on time, so I'm just gonna play some Fiver Finding for a little bit. Oh, can I find a 5th shape? In the play along with Marty and Ross and myself, we're just gonna be doing like a 30-second timer. So ourselves and the internet that's playing along will have that 30-second restriction. There's one down here, but I can't. I guess it's another W. I couldn't do that W again. Could I do? No. This darn blue is blocking it. Because you could do like that. What about this one? Ooh, oh, an L. Nice. I did it! So I would flip the timer. Yay! Of course I'm not playing with anybody else, but then after everyone has finished or the 30-second timer has expired, everybody is going to score points based on the shapes that they did. So the points that you get for each shape is actually the numbers on these tiles. So, for example, and you can like line them up just to make sure you did it right if you want. That kind of like uses the shapes. I usually just have people write, so like that's a 2, that's a 2, The T is a 3. The W is a 4. Oh, and the L is a 3. So then you add up your points. So I got, it's 10, 14. So I got 14 points this round. There we go. So we erase the board because we recorded our score. And now it's for the next round. So the next player rolls all 5 dice and we go again. If you ever roll a 3 of a kind, you re-roll. Cannot have 3 of a kind. You can have 2 pairs, however. Oh, that's tricky. I mean, I like all the games. I picked them. I wouldn't have picked the games that I picked for release if I didn't like them. But I really like this roll and write. I have to stop. I have to stop playing. But this is a game I really like. It's really good at spatial reasoning. It's a roll and write that doesn't depend on like math skills. There's a little bit of math skills, but it is more spatial reasoning. And because it's spatial reasoning, kids are just as good as adults. Maybe not spatial reasoning, but pattern recognition. That was it. And so kiddos are just as good at competing with adults with pattern recognition. It's just a brain thing. Like some adults are not as good at pattern recognition as other adults. Some kids are just as good as adults. I've found, and research has shown, that with pattern recognition and like this skill set, kids are often just as easy to compete, or just as able to compete with adults as each other. So there is that. The other way to play this game is you flip the board. Each player has a quadrant. So like this will be my quadrant, so I put my name in it. And then when we roll the dice, everyone is still using that one roll, but you're only finding one shape. So you're finding one shape that uses that one roll. And I think I'm going to make that shape for me, this one. Then once one player finds a shape, they grab the timer. If you're the player that grabs the timer, you get a point for that, so you mark that off. Then once the round has ended, everyone indicates on the quadrant board what shape they did. Make sure it's valid. And you circle it to say, yep, I did that one. If you don't find a shape or you do an invalid shape, you actually have to cross off one of the shapes on this board. And then on the next round, we roll the dice again. We don't erase the boards and you just keep going. But now I can't use this shape again. I have to find a new shape that uses all of these dice, but I can't use this one. I'm sure you all at home are just like, it's right there! I cannot. I cannot stop playing this game. 2 reds. Orange, not blue. Oh, dog's barking. Oh, you can hear Ichi. A little bit. That must be the mailman. This is Ichi's first time attending Gen Con. It's been very weird. I would love to invent teleporting. That would make a lot of stuff a lot easier just in general now and in the future. This is one that, like, for Gen Con, we were prepped to be doing this one just a ton. We had like extra markers. We had extra boards around because really there's no limit to how many players you're playing with at once in this or the other version. The only restriction is the timer and like being able to physically grab it. So that's why we have, I'd recommend if you're playing with like people remote over Zoom and they can't do a timer, or you don't want to do like a verbal, done, or something like that, you can just set a time limit. 3 minutes is pretty good for people that are new to the game. 2 minutes is pretty good if you have people that have played it and are kind of like experienced at it. But anyway, at the end of the game for that one, I'm gonna stop that. You add up all of the points for the shapes that you circled. So yeah, and then whoever has the most points on that one wins. You also get 2 points for every timer that you managed to snag. So that is this one. It is available now. This one is available from HABAUSA.com and available from the Gen Con store, $19.99. If you purchase from the HABA store, you can get the exclusive Gen Con Unicorn Glitter Luck pin from the Pin Bazaar. It's $5 or free with a $25 purchase. And sadly, this is only $19.99, so you'll have to buy something else. So that is Fiverr Findin'. And like I said, we will have play-alongs of this throughout the weekend, so check out our schedule at HABAUSA.com/GenConOnline. I'm going to say that URL a lot. And then make sure you join our HABA Discord server. We have demos running constantly throughout the weekend. We can also help you answer any questions, anything about the shops. If you are looking for a specific game for a specific age range and you're just kind of overwhelmed with all the options at HABA, just go ahead and go into the HABA shop channel on the Discord server and ask any questions there. Our staff will be super helpful. Question for clarity: can this expand beyond four players if you buy multiple copies? It can, yes, definitely. This is one of those games where as many players have the board and can reach the timer or see the dice rolls, they can play. So I played this at a dinner party in Germany, where so surreal. We were sitting at this huge long table, and it was all of the like international sales managers, because we were at Nuremberg, and I was sitting at the end, and so I taught the people that were like in earshot of me, and then they taught the people in earshot of them in their language, like French or German or Spanish. And it like we had the whole table, and then we had a copy sitting for every 4 players, and so we would roll the dice, and then we would make sure that the other copies of the games, the dice matched the one that was rolled, and then we'd say ready, steady, go, and then everybody would like flip their board and start looking for shapes, and it worked out so well. It was hilarious, and we had so many people in the restaurant because it was a whole like Nuremberg game night thing. We had so many people in the restaurant just being like, what the hell are they doing? Because we'd be all quiet and then we'd be like, ah, like when somebody got the timer. It was great. So if you have multiple copies, you can play more than 1 player or more than 4 players. Also, if you're playing with friends that are remote and they have their own copy, they can play along with you as well over Zoom or Skype or whatever digital streaming service you use. And we do have play-alongs that will like do that later this weekend. So that's Fiverr Findin'. All right, now these were just announced. Dun, dun, dun. Animal Pun, Animal Unicorn, and Dinos. So excited. So these are Barnes & Noble exclusive for the fall, but they are for sale right now for this weekend through the Gen Con weekend at HABAUSA.com. They are $19.99, and they're $19.99 each. And they're Animal Pun Animal Dinos and Animal Pun Animal Unicorns. So yeah, we made them a little bit more mass market friendly so we could have like a nicer price point on these. Normal Animal Pun Animal is $24.99. And so we did the pizza style box, but we have the plastic inserts that hold the bits, and then the rule books are underneath if you are curious. But we just have a dino version and a unicorn version. And if you're curious about how these play, we actually are doing a stream where Jesse and I are going to play these later this morning, actually. So at time zones, at 11 a.m. Pacific, which is 2 p.m. Eastern, Jesse and I will be playing both Animal Pun Animal Dinos and Animal Pun Animal Unicorns, and I think we might be combining them. You can totally combine them for a mega game. So when you combine them, there's a bunch of different house rules on how to combine. One of the house rules that I like is you combine mega style, so each player is going to have 14 pieces, because you're going to have 7 from each game. And you just have the 2 bases touching together like this. So the crocodile is like invading the mountains, right? And then you just play Animal Pun Animal across both bases. The other way that I like it is you do a draft. So this is my favorite way to do the combined games, and you can do this with any Animal Pun Animal. So what you do is you put all the shapes out, and you say, I feel like I'm missing one. I'm missing one. What am I missing? The tooth. So you put all of the shapes out, and each player, you're going to take turns drafting shapes to play for that game. So I'm going to say, okay, well, obviously, my first pick is the Triceratops. So each player gets a Triceratops now. Then, you know, Jesse's going to draft. Jesse's like, oh, well, I obviously want the purple Papa unicorn. So each player is going to get a purple Papa unicorn. And you go until 7 pieces have been drafted and one of the bases has been drafted. So I like to include the bases of the draft. So one player could use their piece draft for the base. So maybe I'm like, you know what? I really want to play on the mountains. We're going to play on the mountains, which means, you know, the crocodile is now no longer being used. This is the one we're going to use. And Jesse's like, oh, okay, well, I want the... I'm so bad at dinosaur names. Jesse will be like, I want the Brontosaurus. And I'm like, okay, cool. We'll play with the Brontosaurus. And then I'm like, well, I want the Twitter bird that's totally not a Twitter bird. Right? And so we go until we've drafted 7. I'm just like actually gonna do this now. And then once we have 7 pieces that we're gonna play with, ooh, I think the bunny. Now we put the rest of the pieces back, and now we're gonna play with this combo. So that's one of the ways that you can combine the sets. That's my favorite animal upon animal combo thing, because the great way is if you have multiple animal upon animals, like the original or crest claimers, you can include the original pieces in the draft as well. So that's my favorite way to do that. We're actually gonna do that. So later today, in about 2 hours, Jessie's gonna come over because she's in my bubble, which we'll talk about on the stream. Jessie's in my bubble, so Jessie's gonna come over and we're gonna play animal upon animal mega dinos / unicorns. I don't know what we call that, but I'm really excited for that. So yeah, so both of these are available now. After Gen Con weekend, they will no longer be available on the HABA USA website. I think contractually they're not supposed to be available on the HABA US website at all, but we are contractually allowed to sell them at Gen Con. So because Gen Con is online, we're allowed to sell them on HABAUSA.com right now in this exclusion period because of that. So if you want them right now and you can't wait for when they actually make it to Barnes & Noble stores later this fall, I would go to HABAUSA.com and get them. Otherwise, you'll have to get them from Barnes & Noble later this fall, $19.99 for each, and available now on HABAUSA.com for the weekend. I do not know, honestly, if we'll be allowed to keep them up afterwards. I do also believe they are available on the Gen Con store if you want to consolidate your shipping. HABAUSA.com has free shipping on purchases over $29.99, and you get the Gen Con exclusive Unicorn Glitterluck pin for free if you spend $25. So if you buy both from HABAUSA.com, you get free shipping and you get the free pin. So, just saying. So there you go. Dinocorns, yes, exactly. Unisaurs also allowed, but those are that. So those are all the new releases that are out and available now from HABA. We have 2 more games coming later this year, and sadly I do not have copies of those games to show you, but I can tell you about them. I actually don't even have pictures of the one, which is a real bummer. But, do I have an easy way to show? I don't have an easy way to picture, but we do have another Animal Upon Animal coming out this Christmas season. It is Animal Upon Animal, a Christmas stacking game. So that will be a limited edition, Christmas-sized version of Animal Upon Animal. It will come in a collector's edition metal tin that is red. It will be $29.99. It will be available in... One of them fell over. It will be available in end of October, early November. Christmas time is when that one will be available, and it includes Christmassy things. So the base is a mountain range. There's a sleigh, a reindeer, a pine tree, maybe Christmas tree, a Christmas star, a bunny, a squirrel. I gotta be missing something else. But they're Christmas shapes and Christmas colored, and it's a limited edition Christmas 10. So after this year, we only did the one print run of the Christmas edition, so there will not be a Christmas edition next year unless, if we have leftover inventory, we will sell them next year for Christmas. But this year, those ones are all we're gonna have for the foreseeable future. And honestly, the pre-orders from like stores and stuff are crazy on that. So I don't know. We're trying. I don't know if we can actually like manufacture as much as there is demand for that one. But that's like an insider tip on that one. The other the other game that we have coming later this year, I don't have any pictures for it because technically it's not been announced yet. So I'm kind of like announcing it now and breaking all the rules, but you can find out more information about it in tomorrow morning's stream, which is the Spiel digital preview, where my colleagues from HABA Germany will be dialing in, and they will be sharing all of the Spiel, well, not all of the Spiel digital games that are coming, but a number of the games that will be releasing at Spiel Digital for the European thing. That will be tomorrow morning / it's just noon Eastern, and this game should be announced in there with all the information about it, but I will just leak the title, I guess. It would be Monza 20th Anniversary Limited Edition version of Monza. That's not actually the title. The title is Monza 20th Edition, or Monza 20th Anniversary. That's the name of it. And that one comes in a limited edition metal tin, and will be $29.99 and available in Q4. So like October, November. So yeah, but there's some cool stuff in there. There's some cool board stuff. Marcus and Robin are going to tell us about it tomorrow morning. If you are interested in learning more about the new releases coming from HABA Germany, but on like the international scale, some of which will be making it to the US, tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, or no, 9 a.m. Pacific. Is it 9 a.m.? Let me check the calendar. Time zones are like hurting my brain. Yes, okay, so it's 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Tomorrow is the Spiel digital preview with Marcus, Robin, and myself. Tune in for that if you are interested. We will be talking about new Spiel releases. Otherwise, if you're interested, you see it on my shelf. You shouldn't. I don't have it. What do you see on my shelf, Brody? I'm so confused. I don't have a Monza 20th Anniversary Edition. Oh, I do have Monza, the original. This is the original Monza. So this is the original Monza, the beloved original. The 20th Anniversary Edition will be different. So new art, some other cool stuff. Marcus and Robin will talk about that tomorrow. So yeah, make sure you put that on your calendar. It is in the Gen Con event system. If you search for HABA Spiel, it should come up. Otherwise, I hope you all have a good morning. I hope this was informational, informative. We do have demos running the entire weekend on our HABA Discord server. If you haven't joined the HABA Discord server, do so. We have some great staff hanging out, answering any of your questions, and also demoing Miyabi, Hanga, Mountains, Cloaked Cats, and later we'll be doing some Karuba stuff. There's a schedule of all those events on the Gen Con event site. You can get a ticket to secure your seat, or if you just hang out in the Discord server and tag yourself as interested in a game in the Looking for Game sign up. When we have a demo launching, they will notify you that there's open seats and you can jump in and play a demo. All of our demos are being run on Tabletopia. You do not have to have an account to play. The games are all private though, so you can't like just go and find the Miyabi on tabletopia.com. You have to come to our Discord server and you will be shared the link. So if you haven't done that yet, you can sign up for the Discord at hobbyusa.com/GenConOnline. Scroll down, there's a logo of the Discord thing. Once you're in the Discord server, you need to confirm that you have read the code of conduct. So on the welcome page, there's a code of conduct. There's a post that I have made below, and if you thumb up that post, that means that you agree and will abide by the code of conduct. And then once you have thumbed up that post, you will be granted access to the rest of the Discord server, including the demo rooms and that kind of stuff. So there we go. That's that. Otherwise, make sure you're following this channel by hitting the little heart button. Thank you for the follows if you have. We will be broadcasting throughout the weekend. As a matter of fact, in an hour, Jesse will be here and we will be playing Animal Upon Animal, Unicorns and Dinos Combined. The other thing is we will be playing a Gin Can't Mega Karuba play-along after the Animal Upon Animal stream. So if you want to play Karuba, make sure you tune into that. It's on the calendar. That is at hobbyusa.com/GenConOnline. So if you want more information on that, just check that out. Yeah, so many things happening this weekend. So many stuff on the calendar. The Discord server is happening. We got the Gen Con store with a whole bunch of sale items. So much stuff. Also, totally unrelated, I am trapped in the digital booth that is my HABA Discord server. I'm trapped there lovingly when I'm not on camera, but I don't get to see, it's hard for me to like go and see what other publishers are doing. So if you are out there in the world and you see something that you think I would find interesting in all of the Gen Con things that are being announced by all the publishers, come to the HABA Discord and let me know, please. Let me know. You can go into the HABA Hangout and just chat. I will never be upset about people talking about board games in my HABA Discord server, regardless of what company they're for. So come through, hang out, just chat about cool stuff. There's that new Uwe Rosenberg, that's the 2-player game. It's like Paper Plane Games or something is making it. I want to know how to buy it. I need to know how to buy it. If somebody, any Uwe Rosenberg new release, come and let me know where to get it. The link for the Discord is available at hobbyusa.com/GenConOnline. It's a link with like a bunch of silly random numbers, so you're just better off going to hobbyusa.com/GenCon and clicking on the Discord logo that is on that page, and that will give you an invite to the server. Cause yeah, the server link is weird. You can buy the Uwe game in the Gen Con store! Alright, well, I know where I am going immediately. Thank you for tuning in and watching. If you're watching this in the future, thank you so much for sitting through this ramble. I hope this was informative and helpful for you on what HABA has new and upcoming for the 2020 year from the games division in the US. If you'd like to find out more information, go to hobbyusa.com or talk to your HABA representative or your friendly local game store, or hit me up on Twitter at @the1tar. Or Hobby USA, or no, Hobby USA, or HABA Games USA. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Gen Con online, and I will see you in an hour for Mega Animal Upon Animal Unicorns versus or with Dinos. Thanks for watching. Wait, that's Rodney's thing. Have a good day. There we go. Have a good day, everyone.